So,
take two.
Okay.
Someone left the camera in slow motion after doing B-roll. Mm-hmm. And therefore, we had no sound for the entire past 40 minutes that we spent recording. So, we're going to do this again. Pardon the repeat jokes. They'll just be repetitive to me. You okay there?
This is going well. Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today, we are filming our weekly recap. Our video where we go over...
it is only Wednesday.
It's 5 a.m. on Wednesday. Yes, we just spent 40 minutes from 4:20...
till 5.
Recording...
in silence.
Everything. In super slow-mo, which you'll probably see some clips of in this, because it would be really weird and funny. We are getting ready to hit the road. We've got some travel ahead of us.
Yep, we are heading right now to Kentucky to drop off my dog at your grandparents. Then we'll bounce down to Tennessee.
Ivy Studios. We've got some stuff to do with them. There's a really good Indian restaurant we're going to go check out. And then we're migrating the whole way down to Florida for a week.
Just like birds. Migrate.
Yeah. I have one of my last photography, videography contracts down there. You see, before the world decided it wanted to quit on me, I was a full-time commercial photographer and videographer. Weddings, events, everything like that.
You have found something so much better now to focus on.
It's true. Now we're focused on Quackalope full-time, but that's been a year-long transition, and so I have the rare occasional client that comes back asking for me to come and take photos of their family or take photos of their wedding. And so we have an opportunity down in Florida, and your family's down in Florida. So we're going to go visit them for a weekend, say hello, and
maybe
then
do some cool things along the way, and vlogga.
Do some cool vlogga stuff along the way. So if you're watching this and you enjoy our content today, this is going to be our recap up to Wednesday.
Yeah-ish. Late Tuesday night.
And there's a lot of stuff that we actually have to recap. So many cool games that we got to play.
Enough that we spoke for 40 minutes.
Enough that the last video was 40 minutes long, and this one will be quicker and more efficient because, well...
we want to get going.
It's 5 a.m. and we need to leave, but there's also going to be a full vlog starting after this.
Yes.
Where we close off and pick up and pack the car and hit the road. So depending on what kind of content you're looking for, there's a conversation to be had.
So, shall we start? Over Shabbat. We had a really nice, relaxing Shabbat. Just
I love you. This time you're like, it was very nice and relaxing, unlike tonight.
Yup. We took some walks, we played some games, we had good food. I'm going to run through the game list, and you're going to point out stuff you want to talk about.
I mean, everything. Right?
Oh, fine.
Everything. You're under the assumption that they've seen the other video.
I was. Okay.
They haven't.
Our first game of the weekend was Climbers, where Jesse failed every single game.
Climbers is going to be lovely... skill. I taught you how to play 3 times.
I won 3 times.
Climbers is going to be a lovely little abstract game where you're doing your very best to puzzle up these colored blocks and cubes, trying to make sure your climber is at the highest point possible.
Maybe colors are just not your thing.
I think it's an adorable little abstract. You weren't entirely sold on it.
I didn't see the skill on it. It was too easy to win.
If you have opponents that are worth anything, maybe it'd be a little bit more engaging. It really is. For me, it's just a quick little grab-and-go style game. It has a unique mechanic system, and I think it creates kind of a neat, unique atmosphere with a 3D terrain on the board.
Can it be played more than 2 players?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm curious at different player
counts. You can play up to 5.
There's people blocking you and more stuff like that.
Yeah.
After that, we did Starcadia Quest with Jan.
Starcadia Quest. Starcadia Quest is going to be, I believe,
the sequel.
Exactly like
Arcadia Quest. Exactly.
100%
Jan
like
said to say those exact words.
Jan specified that we should come on video and we should not even bother to cover Arcadia Quest because we've played Starcadia Quest. And what's the point of playing the other one? Starcadia Quest is going to be a little bit more of an accessible sort of little brother to the larger Arcadia Quest game. It's going to be a skirmish game where you're...
Where are you going, doggy? Okay. Finding a new spot? Oh, good.
Yep, we're apparently too loud. It's going to be a skirmish game where you're spreading out these tiles in front of the board. You're doing your very best to beat up on and knock out your opponents. You're trying to accomplish objectives, and it matters a lot when it comes to positioning, comes to weapons and abilities, and a lot of dice rolling. That classic Zombicide style exploding dice system.
Simon. Classic Simon.
Classic Simon. I thought it was okay.
It was okay. Jan is in the process of selling his copy.
He is going to get rid of his copy.
So, yeah, I think it was average.
I'd like to play more. I'd like to get to more advanced modules. We played kind of an introductory story. I know there's a campaign built around it. I'd like to get to a point where I have more control over sort of my character selection and just the nature of the game itself. Like, I want to feel like I'm building my team and choosing their weapons appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I thought it was a skirmish game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day, we did Quests and Cannons. Cute pick up and deliver. I got it.
Got it. You forgot last time.
Family style, cute pick up and deliver game. Very pirate themed. You are sailing around, traversing the seas, and picking up goods, delivering them, fulfilling quests, solving map clues, gaining loot cards, killing your competition's ships.
Yep. Yeah, we did a gameplay of it together.
Yeah.
We also did a preview video that'll come out on the channel a little bit later. For me, Quest and Cannons, it's an interesting little pirate simulation game. I think it's doing some neat things in the genre. If you like pick up and deliver style games, I think this one is working really well. It's got some good head-to-head competition, and it also has a very simple but fairly good, fairly decent, challenging approach to the cooperative mode. And so it's not a complete knockout of the park for me, but it's one that I'm interested in, and I think there's going to be an audience of people that really enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Then we did Steam Watchers.
Steam Watchers, brand new game by Mythic Games. We did an unboxing, and we did a 2-player gameplay this week. For me, it's still too much of a straight area control game.
Correct.
The idea of Steam Watchers is going to be sort of tactical positioning, expanding your forces with asymmetric player powers, and doing your best to control areas where steam vents are kind of letting their gases go.
That's your resource. That's how you power and fuel your armies.
There's 2 parts in Steam Watchers right now that just aren't hitting home for me. First off is going to be the kind of fog of war, or the nature of like a scythe-style ambient war mechanism.
Okay.
There's always the threat of war, but it never results into giant conflict, and due to things like area restrictions, movement restrictions, it can be hard to really butt up against other people and find, like in our 2-player gameplay, we didn't even come in contact for the majority of it.
Right. We were so spread out, and we were just doing our own thing.
When it comes to higher player counts, one of the things that just doesn't quite work for me is the fact that when you have the resource you're going after, your powers and abilities start being reduced and punished because of that.
Yeah.
And so in the nature of a war,
punishing.
The more you expand yourself and expend your energy, of course it's going to be harder for you to like gain troops and get movement and position yourself, but there really is a pretty brutal consequence to, like, if you can't maintain your forces, you have to start removing people from the board.
And if you want to do really cool things, you have to spend resources that start damaging you.
Yeah.
That also bothered me a bit.
I think there's going to be some people that really enjoy it if they like sort of a risk and scythe approach to area control games, a more straightforward approach. For me, I'm always looking for a twist on that narrative, something like Blood Rage that has a drafting system. That's really what I gravitate to.
Yeah.
This is maybe a little bit too much straight area control for me, and alongside that, I really want to start feeling more powerful as the game goes on. I know some people appreciate the struggle of war and sort of the consequence of battle. So
then we played Roll for the Galaxy. That is a new series that we're trying to start. We are trying to embark on the journey.
It's so weird re-going through this. I had a whole little monologue on this part that was like excellent in the last video.
So
it was really good. Let me cut to that real quick.
Except there's no sound, so you'll just see his mouth moving.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot that. No one can hear anything that I said last time. It's so frustrating. So, Roll for the Galaxy, we're exploring the idea of doing... We're not exploring. We're starting the idea of doing...
You know, people make posters for you to check it off. I want to get one of those posters.
You always want something new. We are exploring the idea of doing the full top 100 list on BGG. And doing review content and gameplay content and a whole series of content built around that. We have an Excel spreadsheet we started documenting. We're going to keep tracking of the plays that we have together. And we started with Roll for the Galaxy. That's one of the games. I'm sure we want to get like 10 or 15 ahead of the curve before we start producing content on it. And this was one of the ones we decided to get to the table.
Yeah. And we're going to make the spreadsheet public, so y'all can see what we are ranking in the games and where BGG ranks the games.
You'll be able to see our version of the top 100 list, with some dropping dramatically down.
Oh, sure.
And of course, we're only counting
some
gameplays.
I will refuse to play again, and Jesse might do the reviews on his own, because there are some I can't.
We'll do the review with you. You'll just be sitting to the side going, I'm not talking about it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll drink in silence.
There's some in there it describes my whole last year. There's some in there that won't be right for either of us. There's some that one of us will love and the other one won't. Yeah. It'll be really interesting to start exploring that. And we're only counting gameplays that we've actually done together.
Right.
We have experience with a lot of these, but we're going to make sure we get them to the table. If we have a lot of experience at least once or twice together. If they're brand new games to us, we want to get a few plays in before we can really fairly judge it.
Yeah. I'm excited, and if there's a game that we really, really like, we might do a deep dive into it and produce a whole lot more content about that.
I think so, because it'd be fun to discover something like that. Like, I already know I like Spirit Island. It would be fun to dive into and do, like, strategy guides or a little upkeep or some gameplay series, things like that. It'll be a cool little exploration project, though.
And then, my favorite game from the weekend, Cerebria. Such a great game.
We told you we were going to play it.
We actually did.
We actually did.
I read the rulebook. I taught the game. I'm very proud of myself. And the theme is something that really hits close to home. I enjoy it so much. It fits our personalities. I like the game mechanics, the area control, the goals that you're going for. You're always sunshine and happiness, and I'm doom and gloom. And those were the forces we kind of played.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It'd be interesting if we had to try and play each other's. That might be a twist we do one day. But,
yeah, Cerebria.
So much positivity for that game.
So glad we dove back into it. It's been a game that I have kept on the shelf because I've wanted to love it for a long time, and my first experience was so bad, I never even bothered unboxing it for a total of like 3 moves in 2 years. And we finally got to the table, and it was really, really excellent. I mean, honestly, you said it's probably...
It was my teaching style. I mean, come on. That was what made it excellent.
You said it's possibly reaching up into your top 20 or top 10, depending on like how we can continue playing it. I cannot wait to see the game expand.
List this year. Apparently, I need to make a top 10 list.
You need to start paying attention to it. Yeah, but it's going to go on this channel, though, not Board Game Co.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm staking claim on it.
Okay.
Those are valuable videos to have. I can't
Apparently, list videos are very valuable.
I cannot have you giving them to Board Game Co. Why do you think he hasn't talked me into doing my top 10 on his channel yet?
I hear.
Maybe I'll trade him. Well, he's already done his like 7 times.
Yeah. His isn't so valuable anymore.
It's not that valuable.
It's not a commodity.
It's only one thing changing. No one's heard my top 10 list yet.
Yeah, and mine, it's still developing.
It's true. We're still playing through. Okay.
So that was Cerebria. Sunday, we did the preview for Questing Cannons, we did a preview for Steam Watchers, and then we dived into Lords of Vala. We did a gameplay, we did a preview. I also read the rulebook on that one. I'm getting better at reading rulebooks.
It's true. You're practicing. I am so intrigued by this little game. Lords of Vala is going to be sort of a territory control game again, but you're playing 2 different factions. You're either playing a general or a dragon. The general wants to expand their reach, conquering the land and gaining as much power from the earth as they can, whereas the dragon sort of just wants to consume people, eat them, fly across the landscape, and gain power by sheer destruction and force. And it's called Dragon Bonded for a reason.
Yes, because there's an opportunity. If the general and if the dragon wind up in the same square at the end of their turn, they each roll a die. And if you get hit marks on the die, then you are dragon bonded. And you have an additional power or ability. And the win condition is now shared between the 2 of you. You have to aim for it together.
Yeah. I'm super compelled by this game. I really want to play it 4-player. I think it's going to be really competitive.
Bringing it down to Tennessee. Hopefully we'll get one with Ivy Games.
We are bringing it down to Tennessee. It's one of the games on our radar to try to play with them. We have 3 or 4 that I want to get to the table. I'm not sure we'll be able to talk them into doing it, but I really hope we can, because I'm excited. I'm excited about a few of these.
Yeah. Monday, we did a Divinus preview. Fantastic game. I'm really excited for the rest of it to come out.
Divinus is one of those games that I think you and I will actually probably complete together.
Yeah.
We're started to play through more legacy games. I love legacy style games, and now that I have someone that's willing to sit down and play through them with me, and will be you'll be bugged if we don't finish.
Oh yes, the completionist in me. We're bringing Gloomhaven along with us because we have to continue going forward.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
There's a lot of those. Pandemic, Gloomhaven. You've already played through all of Clank Legacy.
I did not. We stopped in middle because we could not stand the amount of prep required. Mid-game, end-game, pre-game.
I never got to middle.
So it was annoying.
Either way.
I can imagine us with Divinus sitting down like a Tuesday with some drinks and some food and just diving straight.
Like you want to do with Destinies already.
Yeah. I mean, I'm bringing Destinies. I might do a solo dive through on this next trip.
I do a 14-hour gaming session where we just get drunk and play.
Yeah, and people can walk in and out. We'll just have the camera rolling the entire time.
It'd be fantastic.
You unboxed Tinner's Trail and Merv.
Jan and I unboxed Tinner's Trail and Merv, 2 Euro-style games that just arrived. We've played Merv before, super excited about it, and it just got restocked, or they have a campaign happening right now where it's going to be available again. It is going to be a lovely little Euro-style game with a bit of a sort of city building and defend the wall type of approach. You're going to have the Mongol hordes invading every season, and that can really affect or sort of destroy your whatever you've been constructing along the way. Now it's like too close.
So
now
switch yourself.
I'm backing up. This is not working very well. Probably out of focus at this point. And then Tinner's Trail is going to be a economic style game in the same vein of, it's by the same designer from Brass, like Brass Birmingham, Brass Lancashire. For me, I'm really, really intrigued by it, mostly because they had some very charming British man on the Kickstarter preview video who said something along the lines of, "Your Tinner's Trail." And I, like, RPG'd it heavy, and I'm like, I could be a tinner. I want to go on the Tinner's Trail and walk up with my little pitchfork and just be like, "Hi, ho, the Mario."
I don't even know what a tinner is.
So there's a land somewhere over in Europe that was really rich in tin back in the day, and during, like, one of the colonial era time periods, tin became a highly valuable resource. And so for a while, the infrastructure and economy around this region was built around the idea of mining tin and copper. And so a Tinner's Trail was the long path they took on the journey to the tin mines.
While you and Jan were upstairs doing those unboxings, I might have made your food a little spicier. You created a salad.
The story we had in the last video was way better.
It was so much better. You had some hiccuping, some burping, some coughing, some dancing around, running around.
Listen.
You can't handle the heat.
Listen. So I that evening had prepared. We had tilapia.
Yep.
So I prepared. I did some seasoned flour, breaded the tilapia, did a skillet, pan fried them, and then I did a nice fresh mango salad with it. We had red onion. We had chopped mangoes. We had spinach.
Tomatoes.
We had fresh tomato. A little bit of rice vinegar. A little bit of salt, kind of mixing it in,
and some habanero peppers.
I cut up 2 habanero peppers. I probably could have gone with 1, but it was a reasonable spice. It wasn't overpowering. It definitely burned the mouth and left with a little bit of heat, but it wasn't terrible, especially when you mixed it with, like, the toast and the bread that I made. I made a good meal.
It was
what
delicious.
I'm
saying. I finished my plate.
I'm an excellent cook. I'd be happy to cook for any of you at any point whenever we come over and kind of barge into your house with a legacy game, and you can provide the food. I'll just put it all together. That being said, what happens to a salad if someone decides they want to pick out all of their habanero slices and place them into their opponents?
My salad became so much better. Yeah. It was a lot less spicier. I added some chickpeas and cucumbers as well.
I came downstairs super excited to go ahead and eat my salad, salsa, and fish. Took a big old spoonful, and there was probably 3 times the amount of habanero on that spoonful than had originally been intended.
I find it so amusing you didn't even know what I did. You didn't even notice the pile of habaneros there.
I was so upset.
And then you take a huge bite, and you're like, it was so great. It should have been vlogged.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, what else did we do?
Oh, you're referring to the rest of that day. Mm-hmm. We dived into Lands of Galzyr. We did a gameplay and a preview.
Brand new game coming from Snowdale Design.
Gorgeous. Oh, so fantastic. They do deal with merchants, correct?
Mm-hmm. They do.
It's the artwork is exquisite. Sammy. It's an open world exploration game. It has a website involved that takes you on different quests and events, and it was so much fun.
Reminded me a lot of Destinies in some ways. Reminded me a lot of Seventh Continent in some ways.
Lots of flavor text.
This open world, story-driven adventure game with so much cool story and consequence.
Yeah. I don't see the point in playing competitively unless you're really trying to drive endgame. Sure. I think most times I would just want to play cooperatively and explore and just see what my character does.
And probably play either solo or 2-player.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm intrigued to see how the game changes and what he might implement to make 3 and 4 more palatable. Mm-hmm. For me, I just wanted to go on my story. So 3-player meant that 2-player means I could listen to someone else's story, and that's intriguing. 3-player, I'm like, let me get back to my story already. But listen, I mean,
and also you can help out with someone else's story.
You can. This is coming from Snowdale Design. I love the work they've put out. They're experts in their field, and so I had high expectations for this. It's right up my genre. And what am I going to do? Like, they took a designer, a team, an artist that I already love, and made a open world adventure game with a bunch of flavor text.
Guess whose characters are in that game? Duck and Goose.
Oh, we're also in that game. And we're also in
Deal Merchants. So
listen, here's my thing. I I think this is probably going to end up being a 5 out of 5 for me. Right now, there's still some things I want to see. I want to see the finished game come in and take that with a grain of salt. I am a narrative player.
Yes.
Like, it's not that for Jan and Shira. They're two other humans with their own opinions and preferences. For me, if you found that your taste in games has matched up with me accurately, I'm going to put my mouth on all the components.
Yeah, you actually did roll one of your die with your mouth.
It was so good. That was such a good moment.
It was a great roll.
It was such a good moment.
Was it that game?
Yeah.
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 Disgusting.
Jan, you were upset that it worked.
Yes.
I rolled 2 fails. I had 1 roll left, and they were like, "We'll do something different. You're rolling it wrong." I go,
and it actually worked. That's the disgusting part. I don't care what.
Good. It was so good.
Tuesday, we packed for the trip because we're leaving imminently.
We should have left 5 hours ago.
We should have left 5 hours ago.
At least 40 minutes ago.
I cooked a very delicious dinner. I am very happy with it.
Yep.
It was kind of a tinfoil dinner inside the oven. And we did a lot today. We did a lot of unboxings. I did a solo unboxing of Meadow. It might never appear because I don't think very high of the content I produce.
Hey, if you've made it to this point and you like the content Shira produces and you want to see more solo stuff, because we're trying to talk her into it just a little bit, tiny maybe, let her know.
Maybe. We unboxed Masters of the Universe, and I just dropped my water bottle. Kunk. Maybe Jan wakes up now and comes and joins us.
Masters of the Universe, we got that opened up. We also did 2 gameplays of it with Jason from Shelf Stories.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited
about. Fun visitor for the evening.
Absolutely. I'm waiting to hear.
Very, very loud, exciting visitor.
Yeah. He has
a huge personality.
It was a very fun game. Him and Jan hit it off. We did 2 gameplays, and they're both from Puerto Rico. We did 2 gameplays, and it was an absolute blast. I'm glad he was able to stop by. Super thrilled that we got it to the table. This game, it's just if you
keeps
like,
getting better and
if
better.
you like a skirmish game, I cannot wait to see everything.
Powers and abilities, and just a lot of arranging and what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to piece things together and build things off of each other.
Yep.
I can't find the word. What's it called when you make a team and they have powers that jump off each other?
Yep, that's the word.
That's the word. Fine.
I have no idea where you're going.
Okay.
Chaining?
Yes.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm happy with the word chaining.
Fair enough. What else?
We unboxed a game that has so many minis.
Lords of Hellas.
That made me so happy. The minis come apart. I'm really excited to jump back into it. Yeah. It's one of Alex's top games. He really likes it. You aren't so...
I always do the monster hunting, and it usually results in me winning.
Right. So...
Which I like.
I wonder if you have a competition for fighting the monsters, if that would change things.
I'll be curious.
It has so many minis. And I had a bad experience my first game, so I want to dive back into it, especially with Alex, since he likes it so much, and try it again. Because it's right up my alley. I mean, area control, powers and abilities.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be one that you...
Monsters.
I think this is going to be one that you...
Minis.
You genuinely adore and swear by.
And then... you did some previews of On Mars and Velocity Vanguard.
So we're working on this 48-hour series where we take a look at sort of the last section of the Kickstarter campaign. Usually there's a lot of flavor text and story and components and upgrades and conversation that happens across the course of a campaign on Kickstarter or GameFound. And so we're taking the time to look back into those, especially if they're larger campaigns that we either did a little bit of coverage on or no coverage at all. So I did some coverage on Mars. Very excited about the game. The expansion that came out, Alien Invasion, we just did a flashback. So if you're enjoying that kind of approach where I do my best to get you up to speed, the theory is I always want to know what's happening. I never personally want to take the time or find the time to read the updates or spend the time working and looking through the campaign. So I back a game on the first 24 hours and have no idea what happened for the rest of the campaign. I figured if I have that problem, some of you might as well.
This gives you an opportunity to...
You might enjoy a conversation with it, and this being my job, I now can justify a little bit of time if I'm going to produce a video around it, to do what I'd like to do, which is read stories and understand what's happening in the industry.
Velocity Vanguard, anything about that one?
Velocity Vanguard, very cool space mechanics. Preview is out. They've crossed 100,000. Super excited for them. So they're going to be producing the game. I'm excited to get a copy in. Sort of close to the wire with our content that we put out. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Just sort of space movement game.
And then the last thing we filmed today was the table.
Oh yeah,
we are sitting at a new table.
We're sitting at Cassidy Table.
Yep.
By Game Theory Tables. This is going to be a little octagonal.
Yeah, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Octagon.
Octagonal table shape. I did a preview of it. I did a full review of it, actually, talking about it. They have a group buy going on. They have, like, some special items available, including the Quackalope Yellow. Yeah, you can go watch that video if you're interested. It was released a few days ago.
We're enjoying the table, honestly. We've gravitated a lot towards it, both eating our meals on the cover and setting up games. I like the octagonal shape because I can sit on this side, you can sit on that side. We don't have to clash and bump heads, and then we both can look up at the game.
I am enjoying the table substantially more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And using it more than I thought I would. This has become my go-to space in this area.
I like it.
And honestly, I mean, you can tell just filming here, we're probably more comfortable and more, I don't know, I think we're going to do some more content
here. I wonder how we look on this table compared to the great table that we filmed last week.
The nice thing for gameplay is both of us could catty corner, which means we're not as
I just said that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for filming.
Oh, for filming. Interesting.
I've always wanted a table like they have for Geek and Sundry, which is basically this, but instead of it curving out, I want this to extend. I want this to be able to seat 2 people, and then side corners for the other 2. It would allow me to film a little bit more comfortable, so while everyone has more access to the center.
Yeah, I want to get one for my place. I like the design.
Yeah.
And now we're going to jump to Vlogga Vaga Vaga. I'm going to show you how Jesse packs the car because it's a very interesting feat.
Yeah,
and we are going to catch y'all later.
We're gonna hit the road.
Thanks for tuning in.
So let's see here. I should go ahead and press. It's gonna take a few seconds. Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for joining us. You're picking up at the very end of the weekly update video.
And jumping into vlogging.
It is currently
5:25. We knocked this out in 25 minutes compared to the one that failed.
40 minutes long.
Missed a lot of good jokes.
It was excellent. There were so many good jokes. Either way, we are now going to hit the road. We've got to pack the car. We've got to get all my photography equipment, board game equipment, everything loaded up.
I can show them the new bags we got for the board games.
We're hitting the road. This is going to be a really, really good week. We're headed down to my grandparents to drop off the puppy. Then we're going down to Ivy Studios in Tennessee to do a little bit more filming with some of their new projects and some of the games we're bringing their way. Then we're going down to see your family, and I have a photography contract down in Florida, which is sort of the overall nature of the whole trip in general. So we're going to, I suppose, sign off here. Thank you for watching. Whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you soon. We're going to come back here. If you're ready to go on an adventure, ready to figure out what this whole road trip and vlogging thing is,
hand to me.
You?
Me.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Let's
go.
Get started.